Also, Union Minister for Electronics and Information Technology Ashwini Vaishnaw is all set to attend the G7 Critical Minerals Ministerial meeting today in Washington, D.C. India's presence at the U.S. organized meet signals Washington's push to diversify global supply chains and reduce dependence on China's dominance in critical minerals refining. India is also expected to join the U.S.-led Pax Silica initiative ahead of an upcoming AI summit highlighting expanding cooperation in critical and emerging technologies. Now, this comes after the new U.S. envoy to India signals renewed momentum in India-U.S. engagement. U.S. Ambassador Sergio Gore said both sides continue to actively engage on trade issues, adding that the next call on trade talks is expected soon. In his first statement, Gore highlighted the strong rapport between President Trump and Prime Minister Modi, saying that real friends can resolve differences. He also stressed that no partner is more important to the United States than India.
U.S. Treasury Secretary Bessent, he organized a ministerial meeting focused on resilience in the supply chain of critical minerals. It's very important for all the countries, including India, to have a resilient supply chain of critical minerals. So in this meeting, participants from various countries, they discussed their experience, the steps that they are taking in making the supply chain resilient. There were discussions around funding new projects. There were discussions around technology sharing between different countries. There were very important discussions about recycling. So it was a very positive meeting in which the thought process was to improve the quality and availability of critical minerals.
All right, for more on this, we have Siddhant Mishra live with us. Siddhant, good morning. Thank you so much for joining me. Of course, when we talk about Pax Silica and also the sort of headway that we appear to have been given by what the U.S. envoy said yesterday about real friends being able to resolve all differences, how do you see the trajectory of the evolution of this relationship going forward?
Well, India-US relationship is a very important relationship. In fact, the relationship definitely has been going through the rough patch, but again, there are efforts also which are being made by both the sides to bring relationship back on track. In fact, you see him from the very beginning. There were multiple derogatory remarks, below-the-belt remarks made by senior officials in the Trump administration, but not once Indian officials or Indian ministers, hit back at the Trump administration. Rather, they always believed in handling the relationship with grace and gracefully, and that is exactly what Indian side has done all throughout. Now, there has been multiple talks on trade, multiple rounds of talks on trade between the two countries. In fact, both countries also renewed the existing defense cooperation framework. In fact, there has also been defense purchase from the United States in these last 6 months. So, as I said, that there may be differences between the two countries when it comes to signing trade deal, or maybe India not giving credit to the United States for the mediation, or the 25% additional tariff which US has slapped on India for buying Russian crude. There are sticking points, but also the fact is that both sides know that how important this relationship is, and perhaps how important it is to continue and strengthen this relationship. And perhaps now Minister Vaishnaw is in DC. In fact, yesterday, Ambassador-designate Sergio Gore announced that that India will be invited to be the part of Pax Silica. Minister Vaishnaw attended critical mineral ministerial meeting in DC to secure critical minerals supply chain for Viksit Bharat. Perhaps that is what he said in his post. So definitely, may not be India may not be the founding member of Pax Silica, but India is becoming the member of Pax Silica. Perhaps the global high table which has been founded by United States and allied countries to secure the supply chain of critical minerals. And in fact, during President Biden's tenure also, India has been the part of such initiatives of the US government. So nothing new, but this time the entry is happening late because of the rough patch in the relationship.
Right. Of course. Let's just also listen into exactly what Sergio Gore said and the reactions that have been coming in. Listen to this first.
I've traveled all over the world with President Trump, and I can attest that his friendship with Prime Minister Modi is real. The United States and India are bound not just by shared interest, but by a relationship anchored at the highest levels. Real friends can disagree, but always resolve their differences in the end. Last week, our great Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, powerfully stated that this year will be a year of reciprocity. We are raising the standard for diplomacy itself. That means fair trade, mutual respect, and shared security. Both sides continue to actively engage. In fact, the next call on trade will occur tomorrow. Remember, India is the world's largest nation, so it's not an easy task to get this across the finish line, but we are determined to get there. And while trade is very important for our relationship, we will continue to work closely together on other very important areas, such as security, counterterrorism, energy, technology, education, and health. I also want to share with you today a new initiative that the United States launched just last month, called Pax Silica. Pax Silica is a US-led strategic initiative to build a secure, prosperous, and innovation-driven silicon supply chain, from critical minerals and energy inputs to advanced manufacturing, semiconductors, AI development, and logistics. Nations that joined last month include Japan, South Korea, the United Kingdom, and Israel. Today, I'm pleased to announce that India will be invited to join this group of nations as a full member next month. As the world adopts new technology, it is essential that India and the United States work hand in hand from the very start of this initiative. No partner is more essential than India.
I think it's again reflects the kind of trust that India has held in, and it's a recognition of where India needs to be and how it is seen as a reliable and trusted partner in important value chains.